name is Brett Hughes, and I'm going to be talking to you today about Swedish media. Sweden is traditionally a print media dominant country, but that has shifted in recent years. They still hold a pretty major presence in Sweden, but think of it more for social media aspect and digital aspect. They've been able to hold on to their viewership, if you will. They've adapted real well compared to, say, other countries with print media that have really suffered. But the early newspapers held political affiliation, but that has changed in modern times, and I'll get to why they can't show any sort of bias anymore. 3 major daily newspapers are still in circulation: the Dagens Nyheter in Stockholm, Göteborgs-Posten in Göteborg, and Svenska-Nyheter in Malmö. Still considered to be the most trusted media platform compared to radio, TV, and social media. Television. TV viewership hovers around 120 minutes a day on average, which is much lower than most other European countries and the US for sure. It's been dominated by 3 major stations since its advent: SVT, TV4 Gruppen, MTG, and SBS Discovery. But the first television broadcast was in 1954, with the first station, Radio Service Limited, followed shortly thereafter in 1956. Public radio and television are required to maintain impartiality with strict guidelines against bias. Like I said, Oprah Winfrey has been cited a couple times for her favorite things being too biased or politically or towards a certain group. And then a radio station's been cited several times through the Gruppen network with saying, "I'm Republican, there's nothing I can do about it." They viewed that as too biased and they were cited for it. And that was through the oversight of the Swedish Press and Broadcasting Authority, which is part of the Ministry of Culture, which also oversees voting and anything to do with a cultural aspect in Swedish life that they can look over. And TV reaches 4.6 million households, so about 91% of the population has TV and watches it. Movies. Dominated by Western American movies. Everything from 2019 that I saw, so the top 50 movies were all American or Western films. The highest grossing film in 2019, as of right now, is The Lion King, and it's followed closely by Avengers Endgame with $14 million and $11 million respectively. The highest grossing Swedish film to date is The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, grossing over $100 million US worldwide. The other 2 were also released that year, bringing the total amount to over $200 million. The Swedish Film Institute funds Swedish films and filmmakers with a government-subsidized program similar to Cosmopolis that we watched earlier, like Canada. Anything that has to do with Sweden, with Swedish directors, taking place in Sweden with the Swedish heritage, you can go through the Swedish Film Institute and they will help fund it. I think it's a pretty good program, and looking at the list of movies, there's definitely some movies that I've heard of and seen, such as The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. But most of the movies that are watched in Sweden are definitely Western based. The last time that a Swedish hit number 1 on the year was 2013, and it's called The Old Man Who Left the Window and Disappeared. And it's a pretty good movie. I ended up watching it, so I highly recommend giving that a try. And that's all I got. Hopefully you learned something. If you have any questions, please leave a comment and let me know. Thanks.